probably about 10 years ago. I was on Instagram and I was like, I had to upload a photo every day. Had to.
Oh, I think we've all been there.
Every day. Had to like update. Everyone had to know what
Actually,
I'm doing.
though,
this is one of the
20
most
shorts a day.
This is one of the most embarrassing things ever. You know how you have like New Year's resolutions?
Yeah.
One of my New Year's resolutions was like to make sure I make a status a day. And
Yeah.
I remember doing it. And I remember making the statuses and a couple of friends were like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, I don't even know. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Morokai with 2 eyes. We're back on every single Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 7 a.m. on Spotify and 4:30 p.m. on YouTube. MySpace.
I remember MySpace. I didn't actually have
you
one.
lived MySpace.
I didn't even have one. No, but I remember like that was like the start of like the social media thing, right? Obviously, that was like the first one where it became like a trendy thing where, or do you have a MySpace? Like you would tell people like, you know, that was the first of that, eh?
How would you catch up with a friend if you didn't message them? Like, did you have to call their mum?
I was, you know,
With a landline.
Well, we always have
Is
this.
Mrs. Jones home? Yeah.
We have this convo a lot because like, where I used to live near the high school, like people just used to rock up to my house. Like wouldn't even call, right? Like if someone rocked up at my house now, knocked at my door, I'd be like, what the hell are you doing here? Like, why are you here, right? But my house, like I was living in a bungalow out the back of my parents for like a few years and like you just be sitting there playing video games and then like someone just walked through the door. Like, oh, hey bro. Like, and it was just like normal for people to just walk in and out. But that's what it was back then, eh? Like now it's like you text people to make sure that they're home and like,
Oh, definitely.
you just winged it back in the day. You just rock up.
Yeah, they were home and like it was cool that you were there as well instead of being like, the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah.
I would have to call in primary school. I'd have to call the landline and I'd say, "Hi, Mrs. Smith.
Yeah.
Is James home?" She's like, "Yes, he is. Would you like to speak to him?" "Yes, Mrs. Smith." And he'd be like, do you want to come over for a sleepover? Blah, blah, blah. She's like, I'll go ask my mum. And then they'll run to ask their mum. Most times it was a yes.
Yeah, it was very rare that it wasn't. It was always fun. I always laughed as well when like you'd be the first mate back on the phone. And you're like, wait, you're like, and then it's like, mum said no, and you're like,
yeah, and you just want to.
I gotta go.
Yeah. I feel like, yeah, kids now they have it so easy. Like they can ring. They do like even the girls now, like they're like 10 and 12 when they got phones, and they just like call their mates and talk to their mates. And it's like, what the hell? They're never going to have to listen to their mates' parents on the other end of a phone ever for their entire life.
Well, we're in the era now where you know, when we were kids, it's like what's it like to if you said, "Oh, I'm on the phone," you would do this.
Yeah.
And now they're holding like an actual iPhone to their face.
That's so crazy. I've seen so many people do it. Even still to this day, it's like, I'm just on the phone. Like it's just force a habit to do that, not like that.
And I think when we were in high school, that's when phones were starting to get popular.
I would say so.
Would you?
Yeah.
Was it just coming in for you guys? Like, what?
We had phones, but I remember like it wasn't like
It was like the
on them
bricks.
every day.
Funny, right?
Yeah,
Like, yeah. Because I remember when like my girlfriend in high school, like she's like, "Oh, I got the new phone and it's got a camera on it," and it was like, "Why would you need a camera on your phone? That's stupid, right?" And then like, and to be fair, back then the cameras were absolute junk. Like
They
it was
were
so
bad.
pixelated and crap. Like they were like full garbage. So for ages, it was pointless actually having it. But like, no one cared about phones. It was just you had it. Like, and it was like, oh, cool. You can text your mate. Sounds great. Like, it's not like now where your whole life is on your phone and you can watch
revolved
YouTube.
around it. Yep.
Yeah, it's rough, eh? And I hate that too. Like, I always say I'm actually glad that we got through high school without Facebook. Because, like, man, just the amount of crap that would have happened. Like, because you look back,
bullying was intense on online.
I don't know if you guys remember Facebook when it first came out. Like, it was pretty wild west for a few years there. Like, it was like not like.
I saw some comment battles with like friends, like posting. Like,
my early days of
ruthless.
Facebook were just
monitored. Like, it was like there was some rough photos on there, stuff you didn't want to see, and like it was just like I remember when Facebook first started, I was like, I'm the worst at calling what's going to be the next best thing. Because when Facebook came out, I was like, this won't take off. This is stupid. Yeah, how stupid am I?
I'm like that with friends' relationship. I'm like, you guys aren't going to last, or you guys are going to be together forever, and it's always
yeah.
Like the opposite.
I thought Facebook was going to like bomb. I was like, this is so stupid and pointless. But like all good things, you know, they evolved. They made it better. They made it good for bands. I remember that's when I first realized it was actually going to be useful. Was when like one of my mates' bands started a Facebook, and this is even before it was like pages. Like, you know, like back in the day, it was like if you wanted to be a band, it was like you were a what was it? Like you were just like a group thing or something. It wasn't like
Facebook.
You couldn't actually have like an art. Now it's like made like, oh, you're an artist, you're a musician, you're a something. It's actual. Yeah. It wasn't like that. It was just like you like crunching leaves, and then you like the color red, and then you like Metallica. Like it was like
that's so true.
But then like it just like evolved and became like everyone uses it. Like Instagram was another one, right? I was like when I first got found out about Instagram, I thought this is kind of pointless, but it actually kind of works. I like this hashtag thing, right? This is cool. And then bands weren't really using Instagram either. Like they just weren't jumping on that yet. And I was like, when I was in a band, I was like, we should use Instagram. This thing seems like a real good way to like promote. And the guys were like, nah, it's stupid. Let's just like stick to the Facebook and the YouTube, which is fair enough. It was like they were still blowing up. Yep. And Instagram blows up and comes. She was like, oh crap, we should have just like rode that Instagram wave, you know? But
you just never know what's going to be like the thing to take off though. Because when I first had Facebook, I just knew it as like, that was like what adults had. Like that's what my parents had because my mum had a Facebook. I'm like, why would I want to be on a social media network that my mum has?
Instagram's done that now. Like that's what I feel because Facebook is the grandpa one, and then the Instagram's your mum one, and then now TikTok's the kid one, right?
Definitely. Oh, that's such a good way
well, it's so true because
and they're all the same thing essentially to a degree, right? They're slightly different, but they're different communities.
I've seen so many like people our age on TikTok, and it'd be like, why is this 35-year-old on TikTok? I'm like
35 on TikTok.
Yeah, but it's like, but it's like, why does that fucking matter though? Yeah, like if that's how you can reach a whole new audience and stuff like that, like you got to capitalize on what you can.
That's what it is, and that's the whole entire thing to social media is like attention and getting as many eyes on you as possible.
I find it funny the kids shouldn't. Technically, isn't it like you're meant to be 16 or 18 plus for TikTok?
Yep.
Yeah.
There's just like all that stuff is it's like there's age restrictions and like I don't know like I'm not gonna tell anyone how to parent their kids, but like social media is just bad for teenagers. I think
mate,
in general.
I'm not.
I am that guy. And it's impossible, right? Like I said, the girls now have phones and they're on YouTube and they're watching YouTube Shorts, which is essentially TikTok, right? Like
it is. Instagram Reels, Facebook even has it now.
They're all the same.
It's a version of TikTok.
It's all the same thing. It's like you're getting feeds of like fake everyone's had that conversation how it's just it's fake life, like it's not real, and like then you don't really I didn't think about any of this stuff until like met my missus and got 2 stepkids now, and it's like oh crap, I actually do care about all this junk online, you know what I mean? Like
it is because it's so artificial, like it's not true, it's not how life actually is, it's just how they want you to perceive life.
And I got caught in that trap years ago, like I went through a stage where probably about 10 years ago, I was on Instagram and I was like, I had to upload a photo every day. Had to.
I think we've all been there.
Every day. Had to like update. Everyone had to know what
actually,
I'm doing.
Though,
this is one of the
20 shorts a day.
This is one of the most embarrassing things ever. You know how you have like New Year's resolutions?
Yeah.
One of my New Year's resolutions was like to make sure I make a status a day. And I remember doing it. And I remember making the status and a couple of friends like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, I don't even know.
It's so hard though, because in high school, when you had a Facebook, you'd see, and people like every now and then make a status, but like if you made that one banging status, you'd almost get like this like stupid, almost like a popularity. It's like, this guy writes good statuses, you got to be sure that you're mates with him. And so then you're sending like a friend request, it's like, why haven't you accepted? It's like, I don't know who you are, dude. And you're like, just accept my friend request. Like, come on. Like, I want to be part of it.
I had that same thing where people were like, how come you haven't accepted my friend request? And I'm like, you're talking about a digital world that's not real. Like, but like, but it does mean, and like, to a degree, right? It is one of those things where you go, it is fake. It's not a real world. But like, if the whole world's involved and we're all in on it and we all know it's fake, then it is part of the world.
Mate,
you know what I'm saying? That's why there's it's annoying. It's crap. Yeah. Like
well, some people take it so seriously. I said this to Lee once. I remember there was a guy who, because I think when we were 16, it was just add as many people as you can.
It was.
And now it's back to like Facebook is for the older generation. I remember
it's just for your friends.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, I saw a guy like make a status who was one of those like fucking pick me kind of guys, and he's like, "Wow, 2,700 friends and only 15 happy birthday posts on my Facebook page. Real depressing." And I'm like, that is real depressing that you're even like making a status. You're worried about that. I can't remember the last time I wrote like even a happy birthday on someone's wall. Facebook is like so out of it now for me.
Facebook's got to do something. Well, they don't really have to do anything. I think they know their market and they do a lot of things right, like in terms of marketing and ads. And then they bought out Instagram. So like, and Snapchat, like they know what they're doing, right? And Snapchat died. Like Snapchat, I feel like is a younger person's thing too. Like I was about to say,
I think we think it died, but I keep hearing Snapchat from younger people.
But younger people get into everything, man. Like you go talk to a 15-year-old and they've got
real.
Twitter, they've got this,
what the fuck is it? Be real.
I don't know what Be Real is as well.
No, that's another. Yeah, no, exactly.
Like, that confuses the fuck out of me.
And like that'll be the next big thing, right? And then TikTok will be, oh look, your mum's on TikTok. That's stupid. You know, it'll be like TikTok will die in 5 years.
What do you think about so? It'd be interesting because obviously we talked about like there's a lot of bullying going on when we were in high school that was just over Facebook. Like maybe someone, a lot of negative comments went straight, if it was a savage, straight to that person's profile, or like group chats would be created about this person. Before that, you obviously had just like, I feel like when it was for you guys, it was just straight up fight and then it's done. Like it was just like over.
Yeah, there's no bullshit.
But now we're getting into the stage, right? If someone's to bully someone, we're so close. I was saying this to Lee the other day. We're so close where girls who do OnlyFans, their kids are in primary school now.
Yeah.
And they're so close to high school where the bullying isn't like old school, grab you by the scruff, push you up against the toilets. It's like, bro, I just, like your mum, I watched her naked last night.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, and that's
bro, have a look. Like that's gonna that's literally gonna happen.
That happens. I'm telling you that happens. And like that is one of those things where it's like you gotta, like I was saying, when I used to upload photos every day, like you don't really think much of it, but then you look back and you're like, oh, how much of my life am I putting online, right? And I've got mates who, for example, when their kids were born, they made Facebook pages for the kids, they're stay-at-home mums, and like they take photos of the kids every day and put it up. Now that kid's entire life is online somewhere, right? Whether it's not being used for malicious things, it's just online, and it's not hurting anyone. But it's this weird thing of like, how much do you really got to put up? Like, how much needs to be in this digital world? Like, it's I don't know. When I start getting older, like. You look at my personal Instagram now, I post like once every 2 months now. It's like,
I'm like once every 6 months.
But
you're spot
like
on.
Out there. Like,
I know where you're going because so many teachers are coming out now saying don't even post a picture of your kid's first day of school with them with the uniform.
A lot of them
because there's so many predators out there.
And that's I was saying this years ago to people though, right? And like I said, I didn't have kids years ago, but I was saying I think it's weird when people are constantly uploading photos of their kids, right?
Same.
And like I get it, like, you know, it's your family and it's your Facebook. It's like that's fine, right? But I think it's just one of those things. You be careful how much you put up because you don't realize, like, you go, yeah, this is my kid. She just came first.
Taking a bath, lessons, like, right? Literally, like, innocent. Like,
I was like, but someone else, just you know, there's that dark side of the internet, man, and there people are out there, and like, I try not to go down that path where I read too many stories because it just, you know,
it's depressing.
It depresses you, like, but like, I'm going through a stage now where I'm just like deleting Twitter because like Twitter's just negative.
Twitter is so negative now.
It's got like I loved it for a while because I was like, it's kind of funny, and like, you know, I was using Twitter actually primarily just to watch UFC stuff, right? Because I love UFC, and that's just where I got my UFC information because I don't want to have to go to Facebook. I was like, Twitter, just UFC. But then it ends up being about their political opinions. Yeah. Then they have videos of showing you stuff that you don't want to see, and then I'm like, this is not.
It's just way too intense.
Like, too much is online. Like, too much is online. I'm consuming too much. When you stop and just live your life, you're like, okay, this is.
Well, you're just in such a better headset, like mental wise as well. Like, you're a happier person.
Like, social media is good. Like, you know, obviously it's the, you know,
it's a great way
like,
to connect.
You know, but you know, it's like you're trying to like build a brand. You're trying to build something now. What are you going to do? You're not, you know, you're going to have a podcast here. You're going to want to promote it. You got to use social media for everything, right? So if you're using it for like business purposes, it's grouse. I think this is like the public and like your private life. Definitely. Don't
steer away.
Yeah, I've just like, and like
I think over the years though, and growing up, I definitely would have to agree with your view on it because as a teenager, I know I was notoriously bad for like it'd be Luke and I used to go out to a nightclub all the time. I'd always want to get a photo and be like, look at what I'm doing with my life. Look at what I'm doing with my life. Whereas now I'm like, I actually don't want people to, like, don't get me wrong, like I might throw up every now and then just be like, hey, like I still exist.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. But as such as like I don't want people to know what I do on a Monday to Friday every single week. And they don't need to know.
It's a weird
thing. And
if
you wanted to know, you would actually message me and be like, hey, like, let's catch up or like, what have you been doing? Like, there's other ways to find out than...
It becomes one of those things where as I get older, I think about like the value of something, and I probably think about this too much, but it's like when you go to a concert, right? And you're watching...
Someone's like, already uploaded the whole thing.
Someone's like, like, I'm like, well, what value is that, right? Like, so I get it. We're all here watching it. No one's caring about your crappy little blurry footage with the crappy sound. Like, I said it before, no one cares. Like, who are you showing that for? Who's that for? Whatever. It's your life. You want to film the concert and then watch an entire $200. You pay $200 for a ticket to watch it through your screen. That's fine. Do whatever you. But like, I just like, what value is that being on the internet? Like, oh, I went and saw someone.
Because
like, I don't know. This is me. Maybe it's just I'm 35.
No, I get it because if I'm,
what's the value of that to someone else?
No,
it's not really
if for some reason I want to be like, oh, my girlfriend's talking about Harry Styles and like how great the concert was, and I was like, oh, I'm not really into it, but maybe I'll just check it out for to connect a bit more with her. I'm not going to Jenny Thunderstorm's fucking Instagram and be like, oh, I swear to God, she went to the concert. How can I go to a shitty Instagram reel where she's up the very back? I'm going to go to YouTube where there's like a 4K video.
4K video. That's what I do, yeah.
And I'm like,
but as I've just said this, I've actually just like, I'm just going to have to backtrack now because I've just realized it's because you said Harry Styles and now it makes sense because there is a lot of Harry Style live reels. You know, that's become a thing now, right? Because like someone will throw something on stage, right? And then he'll make a funny face at it. And then bang, that reel gets 20,000 looks. So it's like, maybe it is a thing now. Maybe it is more like people are just like, oh, I'm going to a concert now. Here's my TikTok.
Yeah, here's where I blow up.
Go to these concerts for a clip. Like, they don't really mind about the concert themselves. They're like, oh, I need to catch Harry's facial expression at this moment. I need
to kind of like...
They make it good because, well, what they say, like, the headline will be like, oh, I can't believe Harry Styles' face does this, or like,
I can't believe he did this.
Right? And it's
my God,
wait a minute, and then you think about it afterwards. Wait a minute, you're just a person filming a crappy thing, but
and
you
the
managed to get a thing.
fandom for those people like Harry Styles is fucking nuts.
It's like that with everything though. Like you find, like, you know, before him it was Bieber, like, and Bieber's kind
but
of
some
like,
people's personalities are like attached too much to that. Like, for example, like Harry Styles. Again, it's like people's lives revolve around that person. And if there's anything negative, they're going to like battle to the death and be like, how dare you, this song in his album is actually the best ever. And if you think so, I'm going to kill you.
That's the world we live in now. That's the world we live in where it's like, you're either in love with something or you hate something and then you got to fight about it with people on the internet you don't know. And then,
no one can have an opinion. You got to battle.
With the Harry Styles
Don't
stuff.
read the comments on anything ever. That's like, moral of the
without
story,
a doubt.
never ever under any circumstance ever read the comments ever. For any reason at any time.
It'll ruin the video.
Anything.
The Harry Styles thing for me, though, I remember, I don't know if it was a Melbourne concert or maybe it was a Sydney one, the amount of reels or like TikToks that I had in a row where it's just like, let's say the female's name was like Giselle. It's like, come on, Giselle, you ready to go? It's like, but he hasn't played Watermelon Sugar High yet. And I'm like, the fuck was that? Like,
people make reels.
The concert's done. Go home. He's not going to come out for you.
I think we could say because right now we're in a stage where it's quantity over quality, where we're just trying to get as much out, and then we're going to hit a certain amount of subscribers. Then it's like, all right, let's just focus on quality now. But right now, early on, you just have to chuck everything.
Yeah, pretty much anything and everything. See what hits.
We can say so many times the amount of videos that we think this is going to hit. Flop, and the ones that I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, I put that out just to put that out, and it's view after view, and I'm like, what the fuck? Well, like, what works?
That's what I was saying before about when I had that massive bump in like with the YouTube Shorts. It was the quantity thing, right? Yeah. So I put up one short and it like hit immediately, right? And I was like, let's put up 3. So I put up 3, and they all 3 hit. The next day, I'm like, I'm gonna put 5 up. So I put 5 up every day for like a month or 2, yeah. And it was like, I was just like farming subscribers. Like, it felt fake. Like, this is cheating. And also, why isn't anyone else doing this? Because, like,
why do you think that shorts on a smaller channel only ever hit 1 to 2K views? And if they're really good, they only hit 5K. They never go past. I've got a weird thing where I feel like, unless you have a certain amount of subscribers, YouTube restricts you. Because I went and searched your channel as well. Yours are 5K, 5K, 5K.
5K, 5, yep.
2K, 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 1K, 1K, 1K. Yep. And our channel is literally all 1K, 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 2K, 2K, 2K.
I've got a few theories. I don't know if any of them are right. But when I started doing that, and I felt like not everyone jumped on it, we were discussing this actually here. Do you remember this a few months ago? We were talking about the YouTube Shorts feed being in the normal feed. It was annoying, like, you know, on your channel page. So you'd be so if you had like 3 YouTube Shorts, we crammed it, and we were like,
hated it.
It was shocking, right? But everyone hated it, right? Like, and everyone was like, this is stupid, right? And then YouTube came out and made that big announcement, we're going to like split it. And it was like, duh. It's like, you should have done that to start with. Like, I don't know why you thought this wasn't going to be a problem from day dot. And but they made that announcement, we're going to split it, and then we're going to pump shorts. And I felt like, I was like, oh sweet, so I'm just going to go hard on the shorts. And I noticed that all my other mates in the Pokemon, like, they weren't really doing that. And I was like, did no one else get this memo? Like, we're not paying attention. And I just like hit it. And then like, I literally just watched my subscribers go from like, I had like it took me like 6 months, 7 months to get 100 subscribers. And then in the next week I had 100 subscribers more. And then the next day I made 100 subscribers. And then the next day after I made 200 in a day. And then by the end of that week I had like 1,000 subs. And I was like, holy crap. Like, how long is this going to go for? So I kept doing it. remember we went out to was it that party, and then I said I think I'm going to hit 3K tonight. Like I was so confident, I'm like I'm just going to hit 3K tonight, right? And I did, yeah. So it was midnight. I was like, whoa, I hit 3K. And then about a week or two after that, it just stopped. They all stopped. I woke up the next day, no new subscribers, and I had about 100 views on my shorts. I was like, what the hell happened? Did it the next night, nothing. Did it the next night, nothing. And it was 5 days, it just died. It stopped doing it. So like the algorithm liked me for like 3 weeks solid, 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So it was about a month where I was just like farming people. And then it just stopped, just died. And I was like, I don't know why really, or maybe it's like you're putting out too much of the same content. You're like, it's like, what was it?
See, that's what freaks me out. The fact that right now our gaming TikTok takes off. Like
gaming's huge though.
Gaming's massive.
Yeah, gaming's massive.
But the gaming TikToks, no matter what, they'll get 1,000 views, and then I reckon every third, fourth video might then have an opportunity to take off. Perfect. TikTok clips that are edited, like we pay an editor to do the TikTok clips, they do well, but they're paid for. Keep in mind, so that's money out of our pocket, right? When we have just podcast clips, like just the shorts that we did. We had something, I think we created like 3 accounts.
Yeah.
Because we created 3 accounts with the name Morokai in them, our videos literally got 3 views. Not even like in the algorithm of, because you know when you get 100, then you're in the algorithm, got nothing. And it freaks me out that I'm like, and I think I put a month of hard work into it to try to fix it up, and it didn't fix up. And it scared me to think that like for our gaming TikTok, right? Whatever's happened, we're in the algorithm and everything's flowing for us.
It's just love.
But tomorrow, like what you said, something can happen where someone maybe like spam dislikes our videos or just goes, nah, this isn't good content. Or someone from TikTok even goes, oh, I've seen a clip of their podcast, I don't think they're good. And just clicks a button or does something where
I've heard
we don't go through.
I've heard that, it's kind of obvious they do change the algorithm regularly as well.
Yeah.
So it could just be like, okay, well, the reason like, for example, when I did the Pokemon one, it was blowing up. Maybe I was just like, had the right hashtag, I had the right something at the time that the algorithm was like, yeah, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Oh, and he's smashing out 5 a day, sweet, pick it up, pick it up. Like, and then after a while, they're just like, nah, we need to we've changed the algorithm now. We're going to do it for people who only have X amount of subscribers or.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah, that was the other thing I thought too. It was like, oh, was it trying to help me? I've got to that 3K or 4K. And then it's like, okay, now we're going to help the other guys who have 100.
Yeah.
Like, now, I don't know how it works. Man.
That's what happened with our main channel.
It died,
Because obviously, Luke said to me that you met up and all that, and you recommended like, oh, you guys should like get into shorts. Like that worked for myself. So we did that, and I think we got to maybe like 50 odd subscribers like naturally. But then the shorts, we went from like 50 to like 300 so incredibly quick.
Yep.
We were sitting on 360 for a while there, and like I was just noticing like the subs were going up maybe like 1 or 2 a day. But now it's picked up again, and now we're almost close to hitting 400 on the main. And I'm just like, it's so weird though, because there was like a solid couple of days there where there was like next to no real growth.
Yeah.
But then it just randomly picks up again, and all of a sudden you just like bang, 20 subscribers just like that, and you're just like, I don't understand though. Like the content, like nothing's changed. We're still uploading the same amount of like clips, shorts a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't. Yeah.
What I will say about that
me.
is the shorts to long form subscribers, they're not the same people.
Yeah.
Oh,
right?
definitely.
It has not so I got to 6,000. I'm at 5,000 something now.
5.98K.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So, and it sounds cool to say that, right? But I did a live the other week and I still only got like 15, 20 people in it, which is cool.
Yep.
To me, that's awesome. I was like, 20 people. I was like stoked when I had 10 in there,
Yeah.
Right, that's fine. But the 6K hasn't translated. So
Yeah.
my mates who have like 1,000 people, they're actually already monetized. I've got a few mates who have just hit over 1,000K subs and they're already monetized because they've had better lives. They have great content to start with, right? And they're more involved like with the community, do that. But like shorts, you're farming subscribers. It doesn't translate. I found in no way, shape or form does that translate to long form.
Yep.
But at the same time, when I follow people from shorts, I rarely watch their long form too. So I get it. I actually do. I'm the same problem too. Yeah. Like I get it. Like I just don't.
Well, I said to Lee, the subscribers from shorts, I'm like, they don't mean too much, but what we're hoping for is that when they open up YouTube, our full video is there and they might click on
Hopefully,
it. I was like,
that's
there's more
idea.
of a chance. And
listen, you get 1,000 subs from like shorts. If you get 5 of those people watching your long form, that's great.
Perfect.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean, like that's
any growth is good growth.
And
exactly.
Same with this is the worst one. Before we go, the worst one of all time. TikTok. The followers you get and the views you get on TikTok sometimes feel like it isn't worth it at all. The transition to get them to either your Instagram or your YouTube is fucking minimal. The only way it is fantastic for growth on other sites is OnlyFans. Girls who are doing like they're teasing content, so many people just go straight to their OnlyFans or straight to their Instagram where there's like a spicy link or something like that. Yeah. But it's fucking nuts.
Yeah, I've thought about the OnlyFans path, not in like that kind of way, but actually trying to like, seriously, man, like trying to get like the Pokemon over to that somehow because it's like you can monetize
just
it. Like
naked, covered in Pokemon cards.
Hey, I've thought about it.
That's funny.
And there's people doing it too.
I had a mate who sent me a text. He's like, obviously now with so much of this AI sort of space that we're in and all that, he's like, are there guidelines where like I actually have to be a real female or male on the set, or could I just pretend to be like an AI bot and just post like all these naked AI bot things and make an AI bot OnlyFans?
Some people
because if that's the case, he's like, man, I'm quitting my day job and I'm just posting mass nudes of like some AI female that I've never ever seen in my life before, and that's my income now, and I'm living off that. I'm like, dude, you probably could. I have not really thought about that as a market.
It's probably happening. I'm telling you now, it's probably happening. Like, and people are figuring it out.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff. Do you know what I want to talk about next? Either it's completely up to you, but either the UFC or your days in a band, because I'm curious what band life is like.
Yeah, I can tell you about the band life. It's fun.
Fun times.
Fun times.
Beautiful.
Guys, that was Morokai's 2 hours. We'll see you next one. Boom.
Boom.